Hi everyone, welcome back to Function Pilates. I'm Vanessa Kelly, founder of Function Pilates, located here in Tempe, Arizona. And today I'm back with another 5 quick tips on exercises I would give a client who had rounded shoulders. So we're gonna walk through 5 different exercises on the reformer. And the first one's gonna be chest expansion, okay? So what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna start with my headrest down flat. I have my handles already on, so I'm gonna keep those on there, but you totally can do this exercise with loops. And then I'm gonna come down to a medium spring, which is a red spring on a balanced body piece of equipment, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and have a seat on the carriage with my legs out in this particular exercise. Of course, with chest expansion, you could be, depending on your client and the level of experience they're at, they could be sitting on the box or they can also be kneeling, which is way more advanced, right? So we're seated here and we're gonna go ahead and nice and tall. You can micro bend at your knees if you need to get your torso nice and tall. Arms are long, fingertips are reaching, and we're gonna exhale to press our arms back. So we're holding here and then inhale to bring it forward. So the goal would be to cue your client to really open up through their shoulder joints and then bring your arms forward. They would ideally like to go ahead, can we press a little further back behind our body and then bringing it forward, not slamming the carriage. Let's try that again for 4. So encourage to sit up nice and tall, like you're balancing a book at the top of your head, and fingertips are long, so your arms are lengthening. Good, one more time, feeling those activation run through the lat muscles and bring it back in. So those lat muscles are located right here on the sides of our back, and that's where we want to ideally get really strong and start to warm our client up and understanding what that means. So first one is chest expansion. Second one is gonna be reverse hugged tree. So we're gonna stay seated just like this. Arms are out long in front of us, okay? Abs are in, and we're gonna open out to a T and then bring ourselves right back in again. So I like the handles with this exercise because they kind of glide on their own. So there's no risk of actually bending at the wrist. Beautiful. Do you guys feel the difference here as you're working through the thoracic area of your spine, which is our upper back? Getting it nice and strong. Because what happens with rounded shoulders is that our upper back tends to be a lot more weak. We'll do 2 more. And our chest muscles, our pecs, begin to get really tight. Good. So for the sake of these tips and exercises for you today, I'm just focusing on actual strengthening exercises, not necessarily exercise we would do to stretch. Okay, just so that you guys keep that in mind. The third exercise I would like to do with this client is going to be any type of butterfly. So you can bring your arms all the way through. Actually, let's just, for the sake of it, let's go into the loops on this one. Okay, so you can switch out into your loops if you're not there already. And just like that, okay? So from here, we're gonna go ahead and bring our elbows all the way up to those loops. Again, nice and tall for me. Your palms are looking at you here. So from this position, we're gonna go ahead and open out just to about our peripheral vision and then close it back in again. So careful that you're not splaying your rib cage out as you're doing this, but that it's maintaining a nice locked position as you are opening and closing and cinching through the waist here. Okay, so what you guys should be feeling as that there's this strengthening aspect occurring from back of the shoulder, so the posterior deltoid, and that's what's helping to realign the shoulder joint so that it avoids rounding forward. Let's try that for 3. Inhale, bring it back in. Keep your elbows at the same table line position. 2. Good. And then 1 more. and then let's bring you right back in again. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go ahead and hang that up. The fourth exercise I like to do with someone who has rounded shoulders is a full body work one exercise. It's called down stretch. So I'm still on a medium spring, but I'm gonna add on a light spring here, okay? So let's add that on, and then we're gonna come up to our knees, and you're gonna have your feet basically pushing up against the shoulder blocks here, okay? Palms are on the foot bar, and you're going to send your body forward like you're in a kneeling plank position. Now, what this does is I want you to have you encourage your shoulders to go backwards, so maintain that as you start to press away from the foot bar. And maybe this is all you can do today, and that's okay. You're gonna go ahead and pull your belly button in towards your spine to navigate the carriage to come forward again. Press out through your palms to press on out. Using your abdominal muscles, navigate. Let's drive it back in again. So the breath pattern would be we exhale to push away. We're gonna inhale to pull forward. We're gonna exhale to press away. And we're gonna inhale to pull forward here. One more time. Feel the back muscles of your body, that whole posterior side working here if you're not already. And then bringing it back in. Beautiful. Okay, fifth exercise I wanna go into is basically the sword. Okay, another arm exercise as well. So we can be in the zigzag position. You definitely can be sitting on a box as well, or for an advanced client or yourself, you could be in a kneeling position. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take it down to my medium spring, just like that. And then I'm gonna take my loop and find it in my left hand. So when I start with this, my left palm is looking at my body here, okay? So with that being said, we're gonna start to slowly open out all the way to a straight arm, and then bringing yourself right back in again. If this feels too heavy, you would go lighter, but I definitely probably wouldn't go any heavier unless you're working with an athlete or a male client. And in fact, I'm not loving the way this is coming out, so I'm going to drop it down to a lighter spring so you guys can see what that looks like too, and how my wrist starts to become more neutral in that position. That's a guarantee when you see your clients, if they're not able to open out because they're breaking through the wrist, that it's too heavy. Or it's also for yourself to understand, wow, that is too heavy for me. Okay? And what this is doing is it's helping, again, strengthen through the rotator cuff and basically help to realign that shoulder socket. Keep it strong, nice and stable. There's 90% of muscle that makes up the shoulder. So important to be doing those types of exercises. Last time here, and then let's bring it back and release it. Beautiful. So I hope these 5 exercises help you to integrate into your own personal workout or also with your clients, and to make it more of a full body workout. But these would be my go-to exercises if I was working with someone with rounded shoulders. So I will see you next time for a short educational tip, and see you soon.